Hey, we are streaming live. Oh, we had Carson. I'm not sure where he went.
Will it not, it doesn't let you scroll up or down, is that what you're saying? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like AJ is willing to call in, so I'm gonna send him the Zoom link so we can get rolling.
Okay.
Since.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah, sounds like Carson might be having some trouble hearing. Carson, can you hear us? We're.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody's just been whispering in here, so that's.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was the case. Yeah, no, that sounds much better now that we're actually talking.
All right, well, I think, looks like AJ called in, so we have 4 and we can begin.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for joining us. It is 5:48 PM on August 28th, 2023. I will now call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson.
Here.
Steiger. Samuelson.
Easier.
Okay. Forrest,
Here,
Grant. Brown. Reginator.
Here. Item number 3 is the approval of tonight's agenda. Any changes to tonight's agenda from the commission members? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Thompson motions.
for second,
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is the approval of the August 7th, 2023 minutes of the regular Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Any additions or revisions to the August 7th meeting minutes? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Thompson motions.
Samuel's little second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Item number 5, I'd like to welcome everyone who's joined us, both here in person and on Zoom. Is there anyone, here tonight who wanted to make a public comment on an item that is not on tonight's agenda? Anyone here in person? And anyone on the Zoom? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to item number 6. This is a request from Greg Young Auto Group for a grading permit at 14.5-ish acres west of Sunset Drive and between Beardsley Street and Turnberry Drive. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this is a grading permit request that is in advance of some future plating proposals that we haven't seen yet. They're just wanting to do some preliminary site work and help flatten out and channelize the stormwater corridor that is currently on the site. Starting with this aerial, you can kind of see in the southern half of this how there's kind of a V-shaped channel that cuts west to east across the site, and then also a little bit running north-south. Currently, all of this goes in the direction of our regional detention, and what they're proposing to do is basically take that V-shaped channel, among other flattening aspects of the site, and make it a bit more singular, and just prepare the ground for future platting. So you guys will see another preliminary plat at some point, and then a series of site plans. This just allows staff to give them permission to go out and grade. So only you guys will see the grading permit request. So that's it.
Is there anyone here on behalf of the applicant tonight on item number 6 that wanted to make a comment? If you'll just come up to the microphone for us and just state your name and your address, please.
Tyler, excuse me, Tyler Anderson with Olson, and we're at 1717 Ingersoll Avenue in Des Moines. We're the civil engineer on the project representing Greg Young Auto. Here to answer any questions you may have.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the commission members on this item? Oh, I'm sorry. Any other members of the public who wanted to speak on this item here in person tonight? And anyone on Zoom who wanted to speak on item number 6? Any questions from the commissioners for Elliot or the applicant? The only question I had, Elliot, was with this grading permit, they're still required to meet all of the stormwater erosion, soil erosion, that kind of stuff requirements.
Yep.
Okay.
So the zoning ordinance allows staff to permit grading, which is typically part of a preliminary plat
Mhm.
process outside of preliminary platting with P and Z's permission. One of the main things they're doing in that channel is installing a series of check dams down that channel, which don't currently exist in a formalized fashion. So this is gonna, help compensate for the fact that we're taking 2 channels and turning it into one. Improve stormwater quality heading towards their basin.
And it's going to Elizabeth Holland.
Mhm.
And does that have is it currently going there as well, or does it?
And maybe Tyler, if you want to speak on that a little more.
Yeah, there's obviously local drainage is kind of hitting the site. But there's also pass through. The townhomes to the west have a public sewer that dumps on the site, and that's really what we're picking up in the channel. And then localizing all the drainage that goes to that channel, and then that crosses under the box culvert that runs under the main road, go into that regional basin. Would like to point out too, the contractor on site is still required to get the state grading permit outside of this approval, which would require all the SWIP and site stabilization requirements after the gradings. If that would not get picked up directly into the site development, but if there's a time in between where the mass grading is completed and we're not ready to go into private development yet, it will be reestablished. Any question?
AJ or Carson, any questions on this item or any other comments?
No questions for me.
Nothing here either.
Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the grading permit at 14.52 acres west of Sunset Drive and between Beardsley Street and Turnberry Drive for Greg Young Auto Group.
Thompson motion.
Samuelson will second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Forst,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Samuelson,
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Item number 7 is a request from Michael Foods for a site plan amendment for installation of a temporary granular surface road between theirs and the Windsor Windows site. Elliot, would you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this proposal is initiated by the applicant for Michael Foods. And so you guys might recall, we recently approved a site plan expansion to roughly double the size of the current building, which is reflected on this image I have on the screen. And they're wanting to have a temporary road that connects between their property and the Windsor Windows property. And I understand the two parties have conversed about this and come to a private agreement. We don't really see this as anything having to do with public infrastructure of any sort. As long as the two parties are amenable to the plan, then the city doesn't really have any issue with it. In the past, when we've approved granular surfaces, we've put sunset dates on that because they're requesting a waiver from surfacing requirements. So part of the resolution will have the conventional 2-year time frame, at which point they will either need to re-examine that waiver or get it paved / removed. So that's all I have right now, and happy to answer any questions. And we clearly have several folks representing the parties here tonight.
Is there anyone on behalf of the applicant or the parties who would like to make a comment to the commission tonight?
I'm with police constructors. I believe that too.
Could you come up to the microphone for the folks on Zoom, please? Thank you.
I'm Brian Tabbert with Gleason Constructors. What we want to do here is we're off close with our foundations on the north side there on the existing road that loops around. And that's why we're requesting to have that temporary road put in. And it's just for tanker trucks delivering the raw product into Michael's Foods.
Any potential issue with that sunset date that Elliot mentioned that you foresee?
Nope, we talked about it and I believe that will cover everything we need to complete the project.
Any other questions from the commission? Any other members who wanted to speak on this item who are here?
I'm with Windsor.
Sure, come on up.
Carl Hills, I'm the southern manager, so, and we have agreed, I mean, we want to be great neighbors, so. We had some provisions and want obviously some things in writing and sign, so prior to. Actually letting it happen, so I don't know. If you guys need to be involved in any of that or not, but don't, we're good, as far as that goes, as long as. We get all the stuff we need. So,
Perfect. Yeah, I would suggest separately in my professional opinion as an attorney to get that in writing, but it doesn't, it's nothing that we need to be involved
Oh.
with.
I think the city attorney would recommend that you have that available at city council. Is it essential? I'm not sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say
Good to get it written down.
before you guys approve it. I would like them to get
Mhm.
their stuff to us.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to be clear, this is a recommendation for approval
Yep.
to city council.
Yep.
So, yep. that'll
I'm
be
confident that it's gonna be fine.
10 days from now.
That's all I need.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request from Michael's Foods for the site plan amendment to install that granular surface road between theirs and the Windsor Windows site.
Thompson motions.
For seconds.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson.
Yes.
Samuelson,
Yes.
Forst,
Yes.
Reginator.
Yes. Thank you all. Item number 8 is a request from Winter Walk Properties LLC for approval of the site plan of Titan Storage. Elliot, could you brief us on this item, please?
Yep, so this is a proposal for the Dunn Industrial Site just south of Michael Foods on Madison Street. We recently did a walkthrough on the paving that comes south off of Delaware to access the two sites north of here, and then also the lot under site plan proposal tonight. And this is the general layout of the facility that is being proposed. The buildings range anywhere from 2,800 to 8,100 square feet, I believe. They've broken up the site into 3 different phases. I think that's probably due to just demand not being immediate. It'll happen over time and they'll expand as needed. 2 gates on this. My understanding is there isn't really a plan to have on duty staff. It's mostly sign a contract, get a code or a key fob, come and go as you need to. And that's pretty much it for the site layout. I did include the elevations and some of the architectural specs. Had several back and forth with the architecture team on this, and we figured out what's going to work. We've got a combination of some architectural stone that meets our requirements, and then also concealed fastener metal paneling, which famously is a class 2 material after going through some of the sports complex discussions. Not much else to add, really. There's a perspective drawing in here that I think does a good job illustrating what it will look like from the road. Somewhere on this, oh shoot, did I accidentally put the same thing in here twice? I think I did. I think I accidentally put the renderings in twice. But they're gonna have all their landscaping side loaded to the west side of the property, which is gonna help, enhance the appearance from the street. That's all I've got. Happy to answer any questions.
Was there anyone from the applicant who'd like to make a comment tonight on this item?
Good evening, Doug Mandrenack, Civil Design Advantage, 4121 Northwest Urbandale Drive. I did bring a couple of actual material samples here for your viewing, if you would like. This is nice thick stone. You don't have at the top, and then they will also be factors. So basically, a little just like stone. And it will have 2 different colors on that, the trim color, the end colors in one, and this will be the different color. Would that answer any questions you might have?
Thank you. Any questions from the commission?
I'm a very visual person, so this is gonna sound really dumb. Okay, so the actual storage units, they're going to be going north to south? Like, or are they going to be going east to west? Like,
The buildings?
yes,
They will be north south.
or south?
We've got 6 buildings oriented east or west
Okay.
on the north and south edge, and then in the middle, they're all north-south facing. Or oriented, I mean.
So it's the pretty much the white areas on the drawing. They're the buildings.
Okay, so,
So the edges, the basically be a building along the whole edge blocking that, and then the the interior buildings go the opposite direction.
So if someone could explain me wanting to put the denser landscaping on the west side, that's the side that's away from Highway 28, correct?
It'll be against Madison Street.
And that's gonna be a new
Yes.
street.
So there's a bunch of farmland between this property and Highway 28
Okay,
also. We just figured it best based on the landscape calculation for the size of the site to put it on the street side based on what we think Madison Street is ultimately going to become in the context of growth in that part of the city.
Any other questions or deliberation from the commission? Anything, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan for Titan Storage on behalf of Winter Walk Properties LLC.
Fourth motions.
Thompson second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Thompson.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forst,
Aye.
Reginator.
Aye. Thank you so much for bringing those samples in. That's super helpful for us to see the visual of that, and we don't get that very often, so that was a treat.
Make it quick.
Just,
AJ, if you gotta go, that's our last voting item, so feel free to sign off if you need to.
Do you have to vote for adjournment?
Oh, wait. Well,
yeah, can you stick around for a couple minutes?
maybe adjourn. and then
Yeah, I
get-
can listen.
Okay,
Can we do that? Luke, I think we can.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. We'll, I'll entertain a motion, to adjourn.
Thompson motions.
Samuelson will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll formally.
Thank you.
At 6:06 PM. Thanks for joining, AJ.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.
And David hasn't joined us, I don't believe.
No.
Don't think Holly's with us on Zoom.
So.
So Luke, you're up.
Just real briefly, since we've already adjourned, the parking around the field house for the sports complex. We're working to get the little stub of that East 18th Road open so that we can access that field house hopefully by the next council meeting, which will be September 7th. So then they can start using those 300-ish lots spots here soon. So
That's a great update. Have you seen an improvement?
It's nice having that blockage of the fence. I mean, it's still, you can still see through it a bit, but it is more private, but you know.
A little something, but hopefully that will make a huge difference for you guys. Talia, anything else for us?
I've mentioned while I was in Florida that I was gonna try to prepare a little bit more of an organized presentation about my visits to neighborhoods, which I'm still planning on doing. Unfortunately, the next P and Z meeting is in the middle of two trips I'm taking. It's literally the 1 day between them. I'm coming back here from Atlanta, doing P and Z, and then the following morning heading to Chicago to fly to Europe. So it's not gonna be the next meeting, perhaps on the 25th, and hopefully I have even more interesting things from the Netherlands. Based on what I'm expecting to see. Aside from that, no real major updates from here. I guess the Holly update might be that she and I are doing a presentation at Keller Williams Realty tomorrow to talk about what's going on in town.
Cool.
So she might want you to know that.
Our next meeting will be September 11th at 5:45 PM. Hope we can get quorum a little easier for that one.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.